G'day everyone, Adam here going Overland. Just doing a quick video this week to show you guys some of the joys that are having an older vehicle. So, you know, they've got a lot of character and they get a lot of looks, they do, and they're fun to drive. And you really got to drive them. They don't drive themselves with computers or anything like that. But they do require a little bit of upkeep. And when I say a little bit, I mean a lot. Probably for every 10 hours we drive this vehicle, maybe half an hour to an hour of maintenance has to go into it. Maybe less, sometimes it's less, sometimes it feels like a lot more, but generally that's sort of what I work on. And I do it for fun too. I enjoy working on the vehicle, tinkering, changing things the way I like them. So not all that work is just about maintaining it, sometimes it's just about getting it the way I want it. So I'm just going to run through a couple of little things we've been doing, little things behind the scenes that you don't see on our trips. So yeah, stick around, watch this video, give you some tips and ideas and show you what it's really like owning a 30-year-old vehicle, and yeah, what goes into maintaining it. Not everything, we're not going to show you servicing and all that sort of stuff, but just little things that we have to do. Okay, so we've been busy the last couple of weeks. Just want to run through some of the things we've been up to, what we've been doing. Larissa's just got back from the beach, so we've given the car a good clean. The forward drive detail stuff, there is another video for that coming. Another thing we're doing, we're about to get the windscreen replaced. We've got 3 big cracks in this windscreen now. This is the original Nissan windscreen. This windscreen's 30 years old, so it's done a great job. Hopefully the new one they put on is just as strong, but it's got stone chips all over it. It had a couple from our lap of Australia and one recent one which is just growing a bit too long, so time for a replacement. Another thing we're going to be doing after the new windscreen goes on is fitting another viofo dash cam. They're going to send us out a new one. Winton chewed through the line in the back there and he's actually chewed on the camera, so I'm going to have to change the setup a little bit. That's what puppy dogs do, isn't it? They chew on things, so don't leave your thongs out and make sure they can't get to your dash cam. But they're sending out us the A29 Pro. Really good camera. Like, I've been really happy with it. I haven't mentioned too much on our channel about it. They sent us out this old one, but it's been working really well. So I'm happy now to promote it because we've been running it for about 6 months now. Apart from Winton chewing through it, no problems. I had a little bit of wiring problems, but it was on my fault, it was the earth. But yeah, really happy. I highly recommend it. The new one's got 3 cameras. It's got a forward facing one that faces in the dash, and one in the back that you can have facing outwards. So I might put ours near to the fridge space so Winton doesn't chew it again. And I do want the rear one because I was in an accident the other week in Larissa's car. Some maniac was sitting right up our ass, so close, like scary close. I had the kids in the car. It's only a little hatchback. He was in a hatchback. He's a 50-year-old man, angry at the world, and sure enough, he hit us. Only lightly, but it was scary. Like, this guy was scary, and he was just angry at the world. Had witnesses come over, saw the whole thing. He's swearing at them, giving them the finger, and I just wish I had a rear-facing camera to capture what had happened. Her car doesn't have any, so we're going to be putting the old camera in her car. The camera's actually from Sony, so they're a quality camera and they'll actually give you detail to see number plates and stuff. No point in having a cheap dash camera if there's no detail and you can't capture number plates. And this has got some pretty cool other features too. So it's got a parking mode, so when the car's parked and it senses someone walking in front of the car or an impact on the car, it turns on and it automatically records. So it's kind of like a security camera for your car, which is pretty cool. So got the patrol back. Windscreen looks great. It looks so clean. I can't believe what the difference is between a 30-year-old windscreen that's hit hundreds of beaches and hundreds and thousands of kilometers of dirt roads. All that dust penetrates the glass and little pits all over it. Joe didn't even think there was glass in the car, so big difference. So it looks great. Only thing we've got to do now is put the old Going Overland sticker. We have one spare one left. Throw that on and yeah, all done for the day. Alright, so the dash camera's on, everything's working really well. Just got some glue to dry for the wires. Next job I've got to do is some of these door seals. You can see that? They're sort of peeling off a little bit. They're quite old. They're the original door seals, so 30 years old. I'm going to put some glue on a few of those. And then the only other thing I really want to do today is get a new fan belt for the alternator. So we replaced the alternator a couple of months back. But this fan belt is just a little bit too loose, and it's at the maximum. We're at the maximum travel on the alternator, so on the adjuster. So take that off, go down to Repco, get a new belt, make sure it's the right one, and then I'll get 1 or 2 spares to throw on the car as well. Because we always carry spares. We've got a little pocket. I'll show you. It's in behind this light. This whole panel here. There's a big cavity. So where we keep all our spare belts and hoses. There you can see that, all in there. That's where the original jack used to sit. So you don't want to super tight these belts. Well, a little bit slacken, but usually they, after they're brand new, they sort of stretch a little bit. So reasonably firm. And then probably check them after a couple of weeks driving. Okay. That's supposed to be the end of today, but no. So this is the splash guard, but you can see this corner. See this corner here? That's metal fatigue. It's actually just falling apart. So I'll have to figure out a way to fix that now. But like I said, for every 10 hours you drive it, you've got probably about 1 hour of maintenance and upkeep and modifications to do on it. So I'll figure out a solution for that. Well, sorted that. Couple of oversized. There we go. Couple of oversized washers. Well, I sorted that with a couple of oversized washers, but when I was under there, I looked up and I could see. I don't know if I can show you this. Where is it? Down here. It's very tricky. There's a wire down here. I've actually broken the bracket from hundreds of kilometres of corrugation, so. And that wire's been rubbing the paint, so you know it's not good for longevity. Short term it doesn't matter much, but you know there's wires rubbing on paintwork. You don't want them to rub through the wires, and you don't want rust. So another thing to fix. The radiator's leaking.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That bad?
Yeah, that's bad.
How did you know?
Well, I saw some signs of it yesterday. Well, don't know if I can get that on camera, but where that wire was rubbing on the radiator has actually caused it to leak. You wouldn't think so. The aluminium tank, not the fins, but the aluminium tank, just on the edge, it's leaking right where that wire was rubbing, that wiring harness. Incredible. You would not think that would happen. You think the wires would rub through before the aluminium tank would start leaking. And that's an Australian made tank. That's not like a cheap radiator. But fingers crossed that can get repaired. Probably get them to pressure test it, because it would be about 15 years old, it would be. But just when you think the job list for the weekend was over, I have to get the radiator out and get it repaired sometime before our next big trip. It's only a little leak, but you know, you can't do a big trip with a little leak in the radiator. Weekend trip will be fine. Never ends in an old car. But in saying that, if you had a 10-year-old car, you're up against the same sort of things. Another thing I've done as well, a lot of you guys are running big expensive tow mirrors. I can't justify spending $500–600 on some tow mirrors. At the same time, these original Nissan mirrors are a bit inadequate when you're towing. And also with blind spot. So I actually saw someone doing something similar with their mirrors, and I've got a giant blind spot mirror, but I'm running it different. They had it outside, I'm running it inside of the mirror, and it makes a huge difference. We're only losing about a third of our mirror, maybe a quarter of our mirror. The rest of it's hanging over, but I can see a huge area now. I can see the bottom of the wheels, the top of the roof rack, so really good when you're forward driving or in car parks. You never used to be able to see the line unless you stuck your head out the window. Now I can see the lines on the ground. Another thing we did recently is new seat covers. We got some ones, the cheap ones from Kings. I think they're like $30 for a set. The old ones were given to us from my brother Ephraim, so thanks buddy. They were, I reckon they were about 4 or 5 years old time and I still got them. I'm going to run them in the work van. I'm going to give them a good wash. They lasted the lap of Australia. They're not torn or anything. The ropes on the sides, they're all starting to fall apart. They were from the kids pulling on them. But $30 from Kings, mate. As long as your car doesn't have the airbags in the seats, I recommend these. They're great. They're just what you want. You go forward driving, you get mud on them, take them out, wash them, put them in the sun. They fall apart. You know, don't spend $200 on seat covers. Buy cheap ones if you're forward driving. You're in and out getting dusty. We got dogs. They're in the car. Dog hair. Mate, nothing wrong with the $30 ones from Kings. We've actually had to put all new door hinges on the front 2 doors. Larissa was all flogged out and getting hard to close on an outback trip, and mine had a nasty rattle in it, and it did go away with the new hinges, but it's sort of creeping back a little bit, so I just have to make sure it's tight. But that was a bit of a fiddly job. But the best thing about having new door hinges, it doesn't make that horrible old grinding sort of clunking sound that it used to make, and a lot of old cars have. So have a listen to this. Oh, so good. I wanted to show you guys. We put the new gas boil holder on for our swag trips and for Larissa. So just got one from, it was online, it was a galvanised one. I put a little bit of black paint on it. But here we go. Just got it here bolted to the racks. One of the recent things we've done as well is all new brakes, all throughout, new pads, machined the rotors, rebuilt the calipers, because forward driving, you get a lot of water and dust and they get past the seals on the piston and they can start operating a bit funny. And same as the gudgeon pins where the caliper sort of moves around, and it's got to be able to do that properly. Otherwise you don't get the same wear on the pads. One side will wear a lot faster, and that's what we had. Hey boss?
Well, it's funny because Adam's talking to you like he doesn't like working on the car. He loves working on the car. He'll take any opportunity. I swear to God, he's in here with a hammer, damaging stuff, just so he can spend time with the patrol.
Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Just a little bit of behind the scenes of what I get up to on between trips and on weekends. And I've got a couple of videos to edit now, so I'll do that before back to work tomorrow. See you guys. Thanks for watching.